The Reckoning of Dreams, A Return to Power. I still remember the first time my family laughed at me. I was sitting in the cramped corner of the dining room, clutching my sketch pad, trembling with a mixture of hope and fear. I just told them I wanted to be a painter. Not just a hobbyist or a weekend doodler. No, I wanted to turn my passion into my livelihood, to splash colors onto canvases and breathe life into my own visions. They looked at me like I'd announced I was planning to build a spaceship in the garage or marry a mermaid. My father's eyes narrowed, his voice dripping with condescension. "You're wasting your life with that nonsense. Do you have any idea how hard it is to make it in art? You'll never support yourself. You're embarrassing this family with your childish dreams." My mother shook her head, her voice softer but just as dismissive. "It's not practical, sweetheart. Maybe you should choose something real, something stable. Art is just a hobby, not a career." That night their words haunted me. I felt the sting of rejection deep in my chest, like a wound that refused to heal. But beneath the pain, a fire ignited. I swore to myself that I wouldn't let their doubt define me. I'd prove them wrong. I'd show them that my dreams weren't foolish, they were my destiny. The road of rejection and resolve. The years that followed were a relentless storm. I poured every ounce of my soul into my art. I worked nights in dingy cafes, trading sleep for sketches. I studied tirelessly, absorbing every technique, every nuance, every shade of color. I faced rejection after rejection. Galleries turned me down, critics dismissed my work, and friends questioned my sanity. But I didn't stop. I knew my worth wasn't measured by their approval. Every brushstroke was a statement. I was building my future, one pigment at a time. Soon, I started gaining recognition. Small exhibitions, online galleries, social media buzz. My art resonated with others who believed in dreams too big to ignore. Slowly, I broke free from the shackles of doubt, transforming my passion into a source of income. My paintings found homes in collector studios, and I was finally living my truth. The turning point, from success to return. Years later, I stood at the pinnacle of my career. My work was celebrated worldwide. I'd become someone my family never imagined, an artist whose name was now whispered with respect in galleries and art circles. I had achieved what they had called ridiculous. And yet, despite the fame, a part of me yearned for something more, closure, acknowledgment, a moment of reckoning. So I decided to return home, not out of desperation, but to reveal to them what their doubts had almost destroyed, and what perseverance had built. The homecoming, a scene of power and reflection. I arrived unannounced, my car pulling into the driveway of the modest house I'd once called home. The familiar scent of baked bread and the faint hum of everyday life greeted me. But I felt like a stranger stepping into the past. My family was inside, unaware of my arrival. I walked to the front door, my heart pounding with a mixture of anticipation and resolve. I pushed the door open, and they looked up, eyes wide with surprise and something deeper, something unspoken. What are you doing here?" my father asked, voice cautious. I stepped inside, my presence commanding. I looked around at the worn furniture, the photographs of a simpler life. I took a deep breath. "I'm here to show you something," I said. "Something I've built because I refused to listen to your doubts. Because I believed in myself when no one else did." I reached into my bag and pulled out a portfolio, my latest collection, the culmination of years of pain, struggle, and triumph. I laid the sketches and paintings on the table, vibrant, powerful, alive with emotion. They stared, silent at first, then my mother's eyes welled with tears. My father's jaw tightened, and for a moment I thought he might dismiss me again. But instead, he looked at the art, at the life I'd poured into each piece. "Is this you?" he finally whispered. Voice trembling. I nodded. Yes, I became what I dreamed of being. Despite your doubts, despite the ridicule, I proved that my path was mine to choose. A long silence stretched between us. Then my father spoke, voice thick with emotion. We were wrong. We didn't see what you saw in yourself. We were blinded by fear and tradition. But you're not just a painter. You're a testament to perseverance, to never giving up on what matters most to you. I felt the weight of every rejection, every tear, every sleepless night dissolve. I had returned to show them my success, but to remind myself of how far I'd come, how much I'd grown. The quiet power of a dream fulfilled, standing there, surrounded by the echoes of my past and the reality of my triumph. I realized something profound. The greatest revenge is living your truth. It's turning your pain into purpose, your doubts into a legacy. I looked at my family, once skeptics, now witnesses to my victory, and I knew this was only the beginning. The world was mine to conquer, and no one, not even those who doubted me, could take that away. Because I had become what they said I couldn't, an artist, a survivor, a testament to the power of relentless belief. And as I left that house, I carried with me the knowledge that my story was no longer just mine. It was a beacon for anyone who dared to dream against all odds, to fight for their place in a world that tries to tell them they're too ridiculous to succeed. This is my redemption. This is my revenge.